Hello, and welcome back to the 10th installment in a series of videos about the history of Japanese printmaking and the collection of Japanese works on paper at the Honolulu Museum of Art. I'm Stephen Salel, the curator of Japanese art. In our previous video, we discussed Katsukawa Shunsho, who designed kabuki actor portraits from the 1760s through the turn of the 19th century. These prints were known as nigaoe, literally facial resemblance pictures, because of Shunsho's inclusion of facial characteristics particular to the sitter. This stylistic feature became a hallmark of works by the Katsukawa school, which Shunsho founded. Shunsho's emphasis upon realism in the portraits of kabuki actors inspired his followers to further develop nigaoe in intriguing ways. One unique convention of kabuki theater was the way that, in the midst of a performance, an actor might assume a static, choreographed pose and contort his face in a way that conveyed the intensity of his emotions. In Japanese, such a pose is known as a mie, literally a visual pull. While these mie were quite emotionally expressive, kabuki actors portraying heroes and heroines otherwise went to great lengths to make their characters as attractive as possible. Since all performers in kabuki were male, an onagata, an actor who specializes in female roles, worked particularly hard to present himself as a young, beautiful paragon of femininity. These dual aspects of the kabuki aesthetic, the display of intense emotion, particularly in actors playing male roles, and the idealization of characters, help to explain the radical nature of prints by Tōshūsai Sharaku. His portraits of kabuki actors exude an undeniable sense of emotional intensity and honored the tradition of mie. Other images by Sharaku, however, defied the aesthetics of kabuki. Here are Shunsho's and his depiction of the same actor, Iwai Hanshiro IV, though Sharaku produced his 22 years later. Shunsho indicates the facial characteristics of Hanshiro, but idealizes the actor's appearance and emphasizes Hanshiro's femininity. By contrast, Sharaku avoids idealizing his subject at all. He tears down the facade of femininity that Hanshiro has constructed, revealing the unflattering effects of age upon the actor's face. For a similar comparison, here is the actor Matsumoto Koshiro IV, portrayed by Shunsho. The red kumadori makeup around his eyes and his hairstyle represent him as a fierce warrior seeking justice. Sharaku depicts the same actor as a feeble old man, diminishing the size of his eyes, enlarging his ears, and delineating his wrinkled skin with extremely fine line work. Sharaku was an enigmatic character in the history of Japanese art because the more than 140 images by him were produced within a span of only 10 months, and little information about the artist can be found either before or after that time period. The name Sharaku, literally he who likes to copy, was clearly the pseudonym of another artist. Considering his collaboration with the publisher Tsutaya Juzaburo, his extensive work in the genre of okubie portraiture, and his elaborate use of mica, some art historians and collectors have associated Sharaku with Kitagawa Utamaro, the subject of our 8th video. Artists besides Utamoto also employed styles curiously reminiscent of Sharaku. These include Katsukawa Shun-e, one of Shunsho's students, Kabukido Enkyo, and even Katsushika Hokusai. The most widely accepted theory, however, is that Sharaku was Saito Jurobe, an actor of Sarugaku Theater, now known as No Theater, who lived in Awa Province, modern-day Chiba Prefecture. This identity was first proposed by Julius Kurth, a German collector of prints who published a biography of Sharaku in 1910, hailing the artist's portraiture as equal to that of Rembrandt and Velázquez. The publication by Kurth led to the popularization of Sharaku throughout Japan, Europe, and the United States. Given the noticeable changes in Sharaku's style over the course of 10 months, some scholars maintain that more than one of the aforementioned designers may have collaborated in the guise of Sharaku. Sharaku produced prints for 4 consecutive kabuki seasons in Edo, and each batch of prints defines a distinct stylistic phase. The first, a set of okubie bust portraits, illustrate 3 plays that premiered in May 1794. A medley of tales of revenge at the Kiri Theater, The Colored Reins of a Loving Wife at the Kawarazaki Theater, and The Iris Tale of the Soga Brothers at the Miyako Theater. Sharaku's second set of prints, published 2 months later, is significantly different in appearance. All of the actors are depicted in full figure, and due to their smaller size, the actors' faces are significantly less arresting. Though no evidence supports such a claim, scholars have pondered whether this change was demanded by actors or fans who sponsored the publication and who were displeased with Sharaku's previous prints. Several of these images present the actors in pairs, while others focus on solitary figures. Some include a silvery field of mica in the background, reminiscent of Utamoto's collaborations with Tsutaya Juzaburo. And other prints include no mica at all. Among the prints in his third phase, published in the 11th month of that year, Sharaku includes a few okubie busts, but without mica, the works are less radiant. Their style is more restrained, and the faces are not as striking as before. The majority of works from this period are full-figure portraits. And in these prints, Sharaku embellishes the environment his figures occupy. Here, the actor Sawamura Sojuro III stands beside a stone pillar indicating the entrance of Sekidera Temple. And here, Nakamura Noshio II is shown beside a gnarled plum tree. By the time his prints entered their fourth and final stage of stylistic development at the beginning of 1795, the backgrounds have developed into architectural environments with greater detail. And the bold compositions and psychological intensity of Sharaku's earliest works have been replaced with formulaic conventions frequently associated with Katsukawa Shunsho. In retrospect, the most stunning works by Sharaku were his earliest, but he gradually conformed to the popular style of the Katsukawa school. Over the following years, some Japanese art critics expressed appreciation for Sharaku's Okubie portraits, but it wasn't until a foreign collector championed his work 100 years later that Sharaku's art historical importance was widely recognized. Though Sharaku's career was short-lived, his early portraits inspired several generations of printmakers, particularly Utagawa Toyokuni I, who, as founder of the Utagawa school, furthered the development of kabuki prints through the first half of the 19th century. At the same time as Toyokuni and his students were active, other artists explored the newly emerging genre of landscape prints, which we will discuss in our next video.